Hello, and welcome to Keliko Media. My name is Judith Lemi. Today, we have with us my dad, who was one of the men involved in the initial Keliko Bible translation. He will be talking with us about his background and calling, the translation journey, language and culture, the spiritual impact of the Keliko Bible, challenges and perseverance during the translation process, and future encouragements. Grab a chair, get your tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's get into the program.
Thank you so much, Keliko Media, for inviting me to be able to explain some few things which may be of interest to this media. As a Keliko, my name's Peter Adraga. I have been involved in the Bible translation. I was in college. I finished college, and after finishing college, the church was interested in seeing that as somebody is finished from college, they're supposed to go in the beginning a church to work in the church. But as the Bible is also important in the church, so it was decided that I have to join the team in which the translation is going on. So I was involved from that time where I was trained, and then after the training, and then I joined the group and we started to do the translation. We were given some guidelines by some of our consultants, and so I was fully involved in it. We have two teams. The other team was external, the other team was in the homeland, and I think we had a very good team, and we did well. I become interested in the translation as I know we have churches in Keliko. We have pastors, we have lay readers, we have preachers in Keliko, but all the language the Bibles use it were either in Bangala or in Bari or in English, and it has not been so easy, because I know most of our people they don't speak some of these languages. They just learned the language, and so one cannot be fluent to be able to understand the word of God in a foreign language. And so when the idea came that there is a project and there are supporters who are going to be supporting the Keliko translation, I was really, really, really touched, and I was so happy that if anything, I can do my best to join the group. And so I find myself in it. And the other thing is also the church knew back from the archdeaconaries that, oh yeah, since you have been trained, you can do this, and then straight away I was selected to be in the group, and had a training for 2 weeks. After the training, although in the beginning it was a little bit of a challenge, it's a new thing, how you can be able to write a language from scratch. It has been a challenge, but with the support of the consultants who were well versed with language development, so I find myself enjoying it with the group, and it really, really had changed my view of seeing things. My motivation didn't just come instantly at that very moment. Before, I had been involved in the church, and when I was in the church, although I have the privilege of knowing other languages where I can easily understand, I can preach, I can connect with the people, but when I look back and see those who may not have the chance of knowing the languages, I had always been asking myself, how are they getting to understand the word of God? But when it came to be the Bible to be translated into Keliko, I know it is going to benefit the local people who have not had chance of learning other languages. That gave me courage. That gave me commitment that I have to do this. Even if it has been hard, but I gave in my all my effort and be able to do it the way I was. And even it has opened up my mind, because there are certain things that, as I was saying, in these other languages I could read, but now when I was involved in interpreting, in understanding why certain things were written like that, why certain things are said the way it is, it gave me that the Bible was not in our own culture. The Bible was written in a different culture. And the culture, a foreign culture, has influenced the Bible. It opened my mind to be able to see that, oh, there are certain things that we need to make it to be in our in our culture, and it can have a meaning. So I think that gave me really, really feeling that, yes, there is something that I need to do.
Were there any biblical words or concepts that were especially difficult to translate into Keliko?
There are a number of them, but I can remember maybe one or two. Keliko is, we can say, maybe Keliko is a landlocked community where we don't have big waters or oceans or seas. And so because the Bible is written in a place where there are oceans, there are seas, big waters, but in Keliko it is not there. And to translate sea into Keliko, it has not been easy, because we don't have a sea, we don't know what it is called, and then we have to get an option, an alternative of it. And then that alternative, something just descriptive, so which had also carry the meaning, where we can call Yibalala, which means water, which is just a surface of water, which is just big. And then when we also come to, the boats, we don't have boats if we have our rivers which are big. There is just maybe a carry which is very small. We can't use a boat there. And then when we get an alternative of, say, Kulumba Mongu. Kulumba is a boat. Kulumba is a boat, a small boat. But to make it big, like a ship, so we call it Kulumba Mongu, which is big. So we made it that way, at least to give an alternative of saying, oh, yeah, this is a big one. That is very interesting. As I was saying previously, the Bible was written in a different culture, the culture of the Jews, the culture of the Romans at those times. And when they were writing it, they were in a particular place. And in that place, they use those things to be able to explain to people what these things are. So for us in Keliko, there are a lot of things that we may think it is like that, but it is a little bit different. If we see there are certain passages, there are certain words which doesn't apply to us. A typical example is when Paul was explaining to the followers, to the Christians, that they should love each other. They should have, a strong love which involves kissing. Now, when you come to our culture, when you come to Keliko, there is no kissing. Nobody kisses anybody. When you do that, people will see it is something different. And as a result, it even misled some people. Many times when they say you give the Christians a holy kiss, what is a holy kiss? There is nothing known as a holy kiss. This is what sometimes can confuse if you don't know and if it is not in your culture. If we change it literally to Keliko and say holy kiss, and you go and they say in the Keliko tindrungara moletertere, this one doesn't carry any meaning. You see, this does not carry any meaning, but we thought this is love that is abundant, that is proper love, big love. You can express it in different ways, not holy kiss. There is nothing to be called holy kiss in our culture. So we made it to be a love which is a real love, a big love. So that way people can see that this is what Paul was meaning. So the Bible have a lot of things that we need to see it in our own Keliko way. If we see it in our Keliko way and then we translate it according to that, it will help us to know more about what it is. But if you not, we just translate it literally like this one, and then it misleads your people, and then they say, what is this? It is really very confusing, but it is good to have it that way, and then let people understand, explain to people. I think it carries more weight than anything else. I think that is really, really, really something that has empowered and encouraged people. I can remember during the translation, we had what is called the community checking. And in the community checking, we have the local churches, the church leaders, youth, and many people gathered together. And then we go there as translators and the literacy teachers. We read what we have translated into we read it, and then it is translated to the consultants to be able to see. But when it is read, as I was saying previously, when it was read Kolongba Mungu, people were like, what is this? And when it is read, that love, it expressed a lot of things. Especially when it is when Moses or Jesus or Paul is saying something, and then it is spoken in Keliko, and people have not heard. People were having in their mind that the Bible is written in that language, and that language is the language that God has blessed to be used for Bible. But now when they hear it in Keliko, they say, oh, so our language can also be used for God's word. It carried a lot of, a lot of courage, a lot of impact in the lives of people coming to express their gratitude and saying, really, this is what it is. We didn't know it was like this. It carried a lot of impact on the lives of people. It makes people to understand God's word more and more, and it builds interest in them, that everybody was ready to come and take part in it. I can remember there were young people who were coming just to attend, but when they see what is happening, how people were reading, the translated version, and people were expressing it, I think it carried more. Even now, young people still, when they have the opportunity to read and understand, it encourages them to do more. Yeah, there were a lot of people who were coming to, especially when the Bible, we have printed some few, and then people were already studying the Bible in Keliko, and they were already having a lot of interest, coupled with the literacy. We have a literacy department where they teach people how they can read the language, because we have the language, it is invented that we have some marks, tone marks, where it goes low, high, something like that. So for example, we have in Keliko, we this ti could mean four things. Ti can mean your lips. Ti can mean a goat. Ti can mean somebody is given birth. Ti it is having many meanings. But when you use these tone marks, it can be able to give it to be high. T T T. So it gives you all these things. And then this one, for a lay person who has no idea of this, will not be able to pronounce it properly. It is just going to be like the Logbara one and all this. You not know which one stands for which, unless you are given the next sentence. That's when you can understand it. But with the invention of these tone marks, it was able to open people's mind to be able to recognize the difference between T and the T and all this. So it is really, really amazing And it also encouraged anybody, including church leaders, women, everybody, to put interest in learning the language and then to develop and they begin even to preach in the language. Especially if one is preaching in Keliko, it brings people and thinking, oh, this is my language. It is very interesting. Yeah, the translation has affected my faith in many ways. I learned I learned these things which are new, which I have not known before, and I thought we don't have it in Keliko, but we are able to know that these things are not just the things. It is you can get an option to whatever is there, and then above all, the translation gave me to learn to be patient because when the translation started, there were a lot of hurdles, ups and downs. The security was not good. I can remember when we were going for the translation, we are going to Panyana, but we can go to Morobo, we go all the way to Yei, and then from Yei come the other way, a long distance, and anything can happen anytime. But we were very, very, very patient. We persevered with these consultants, and we were able to do something. And then when it came to funding, it has not been easy. It was very hard, although the translation was supported by SIL, and there are also limitations where we need to be, we need to contribute. Or people are running away for their lives, they don't have food, they don't have anything, but still people were able to sacrifice the little they have. They can contribute in terms of food, in terms of money, and it taught me that really God is not limited. God can give you in whatever situation you are in. God can still supply you. It was war. People were hiding in South Sudan. People were hiding in the bushes. When we go for the translation, they come all there. They contribute their food willingly. They come, stay there, not paid anything. Very eager to listen, to understand, to contribute to whatever is there. So it taught me a lot of things. And I think maybe my challenge is maybe I'm not patient enough to be able to stand like other people. When I thought of mine, I may think mine is too much, but there are other people who have been contributed more than me, physically, spiritually, morally. It is amazing. So I learned a lot of things, and there were many times that me and the group we were involved in prayers, sometimes even in fasting, and then sometimes giving, going there to be able to speak your mind. It makes people understand, if these people can do that, why not us? We can be challenged. You have to have a budget of this much, but people come in great numbers. How do we feed these people? People still have enough food to eat. People still have enough to share. So that really, really encouraged me. God cannot be defeated. God can do things. If we all have hope, if we all can come together, God can bring people together and be able to succeed in many things. So it was just like that. People didn't have that they were going to be able to have to achieve this, but it has been achieved. Now we can see result of a Bible like this, which is really, really something that we need to say thank you to God, and we need to stand by what we have. God will bless us and do for us what we need. The main thing that made me a little bit discouraged was one was you are going to be doing something and you are asking somebody to support you. I need not to be depending every time on somebody, asking somebody to help. That had been a challenge to me. I didn't want to be like you are a beggar. But the situation was not easy. The situation, you don't have enough that you can be able to do what we do. That is why when we are asking, say, oh, we want a contribution, maybe the donors, they will limit you and say, oh, no, we are going to give you just this, and then you do this. And it doesn't really be, and it is not something that you think it can be enough. But it's still, because it is something that you feel in your heart that it needs to be achieved. And so you have to sacrifice the little you have. You have to give in your time, be able to go and even suffer and even do things by your hand. I remember there was a time when the first time we were going to do a community checking in Panyana. The houses were just, I think they were 2 or 3 houses. People are still building. The places for accommodation was not enough. We were involved in cleaning. We were involved in doing most of the job there. Even if in the evening we come out and we begin to clean the compound, we begin to dig and make. It was amazing. I think it encouraged me to say, even if there is something which I cannot be able to do it, but if I give myself with the support, it will be done. So it happened. It encouraged me that you are not alone in it. It gave me a spirit of unit work, working together, sharing ideas, being able to do from the little you have, than just giving up and saying, we're not able to do it, let it be. We were trying. And me, I was also involved in trying to plan how we can do it. And so I think it gave me that idea of being able to use the little I have. Prayer and faith played a very great role, because many times when translation things are happening, people look at it as if, oh, it is too much, we can't make it. How do we do it? How do you go there? Particularly the roads. The roads are dangerous. Anytime anything can happen. There are even cars trucks that are turning over. There are sometimes in those days there were bombs that the antelope could come and bomb somewhere. There was no peace. And when somebody is saying, oh, he's going to Yei or he's going to South Sudan from Arua, it has not been easy. You just have to say, okay, God, I am here. If it is living, I live for you. If it is death, I will go to you. So my life is in your hands. And God really kept people's lives, particularly with these missionaries who were sacrificing to sleep in this mud, in those houses where we have a lot of mosquitoes, where we have all of this. But the good thing was, when we were there with them, none of them had malaria. None of them was sick. The foods we were eating, even if the foods were not good, they were still enjoying the food. They were still sleeping in those rough places. They were moving on these roads, these tough roads. They were moving there. Nothing affected them. So prayer was really very important, because it was many times that people take time to pray together for this translation. People take time to contribute. Out of nothing, they contribute. Faith, without faith, you can't give anything. Somebody who is having the faith is saying, oh, because it is for God, it is because of my word, my language. I want God to speak to me in my language. The small they give is blessed. Even if they give, I remember there were people who were giving goats. There were those who were giving food. There were chicken. Many things were happening. It was true faith. Without faith, nobody can give their goat. Nobody can give anything, because they think my thing first. And then commitment, giving themselves to God, sacrificing. They sacrificed everything, even their life, whether the road is good, whether everything is bad, they still do it. And we still go there. Even people are saying, you see, before, even there was a time before we were going, there was said to be an attack, bombs were the Antonov was bombing there and all this. So still, because we were having prayers every time, we were having committing to sacrifice, and then we went through. So I think these two things, they all go together. Yeah, I think what I would tell the young people is that the word is not only for the old people. The Bible is for everyone. I can remember in the Bible, Samuel was given to the church from an age, a small age, when I think even before he can be 10 or something, he started the work of the church. He started to be in the they call their synagogue. He was there. And so for young people, there is no age limit in the ministry in the church. You have the responsibility to give your life to work for God, especially with this translation. You are in school, you are in college, use this knowledge to be able to make the Bible to be understood by other people, because some people don't know. With the knowledge you have, you can be able to explain to people. You can even teach the alphabets. We have the alphabets, we have the literacy. You can join these groups, do Bible studies together, join youth groups, encourage youth groups to come up. You there are so many things. You can even give you material. If you're working, you have some money, a little bit of some money, give some money. If it means what, do it, because all together it will help, and it will bring, as young people, it will bring you together. You can even begin to develop things that can support you as a person, and it can support you as a community. It can support the whole group or the whole Keliko, encouraging the young people. Your language is your language. Remember, language, Keliko language is one of the identities. If you don't have a language, you don't have an identity. People will not know who you are. Language, you have to be proud of your language. I know sometimes people feel, those who know other languages, they know English, maybe they know Kakwa, maybe they know Arabic. They tell, oh, I don't want you to speak to me in Keliko. In those days, I have experience where some people say, oh, I don't want you to talk bad, bad, bad. I don't want to hear this language. But this is my language. Even if it is a bad one, it is mine. People have this saying that if your mom or your dad is lame or is blind or is what, you can't deny them. This is yours. You can't buy them. So Keliko is my language. Keliko is your language. You have to be proud of it. You have to encourage each other. You have to learn if there are certain things which are new that people may have interest in them. Continue to support, continue to teach, be proud of it. Show yourself, I am here. It is yours. Nobody is going to turn you down. And this is now a new development that anybody, when you can see, everybody is encouraging their own to be there, their language to be there, their culture to be there. So this is your turn, young people and all. Let's go and encourage ourselves. Let's go and develop in many areas, not just ignoring our language. Yeah, there are many things that the community can support, they can value. Because one thing is, the language brings people together all the way from Rangaba up to Mbachi. In this translation, it was not just one group, it is the whole Keliko. So it brings Keliko people together. It makes opens people's minds, because now we have something that we can write, we have something that we can read, we have something that can bring us together. As our main point here was our identity. Keliko language is one of our identities, and it is us who can make it work more for ourselves. Nobody will come and do it for us. It is us to do it, whether young or old. We join hands together, we do it, we translate it, we support it in any means. Whether it means sacrificing to give something, let's do it. Whether it means going to teach, let's teach it. If it means to become a pastor in the church, it's well and good. You do that, because it is not only the old people to be preachers, young people, children, and the oldies. And also the materials we have is not only for old people or a group of people, it is for everyone. You can develop many materials to teach children. You can develop for sing songs are also one of the good things that people can easily remember, people can easily do, especially young children. They can sing. It is something which we, all of us, our knowledge, our expertise is welcomed. It can make it better. Not to say, it is only for the pastors, or it is only for the lay readers. No, it is for all of us, including the young people. I think you can make it good. It means life has come back, because when we first got the the word, the church, or the missionaries came to the land in Keliko, they were either speaking in Bangala, they were either speaking in Bari, they were either speaking in foreign languages, in English and the rest. But now that the word can be preached in Keliko, I didn't believe that there was going to the Bible translation. We were going to have a Bible in Keliko in my lifetime. I was thinking maybe it is going to be our great grandchildren will be the one doing it. But it has come to my time, even if it is not the whole Bible yet, but still I can see half of it now in Keliko. I'm really proud of that. And I would encourage that Keliko is our language. Let's put interest in it. Let's learn. Let's explain. Let's teach to our children, to our grandchildren, that we have a future here. Because it is us, as I always say, it is ours. Let us own it. If we own it, I think it will. For me personally, I feel when I'm even asleep, I begin to think of some of the things that we used to talk about. How will this thing be translated into Keliko? What is the alternative of this? We think, and it makes you to be thinking something out of your knowledge. Your knowledge is limited, but you think, and it comes to be something useful in the Bible, which is really very good. And I'm hoping that people also see it that way, that it can open people's minds and it can bring you very close to God. You commit to God, and you be able to do things that God can provide. So I think it really helped me so much, because for me, I have other languages that I know, but sometimes some of these languages, it doesn't make it so meaningful. But when I have it in Kelko, the meaning is too big. So yeah, this is how I look at it. Thank you for giving me this chance to be able to say some few things. I'm so proud. I'm so happy that I have all that I've said. But right now, I want to say three things. One of them is I want to encourage the Keliko people to be people who love each other. I know love is the pillar of everything. It has been there with our parents, with us, our children, and we wanted to encourage that love to be, if you have love, you think that love, you want somebody to do something to you like what you are doing to them. You can't harm them, you can't hurt them. So one thing I want is the Keliko should have love. Two, the Keliko people should let us have unity. If we have unity, we can develop, we can do things better. People sometimes make they give an example of, say, if you just have one of your hands, you can be waving your hand, you will not hear any sound. But if you have two hands and then you clap, it can make sound. And if all of us, like the Keliko people, we all clap, I think the sound will go more than 100 miles. And so it is really very important that as Keliko, we should have that unity. If we have the unity will make us to grow together. It will make us to develop. It will make us to understand. We will support each other, which is very good. Lastly, I want to encourage us, the Keliko people, the listeners, that we should be people who are not just talking. Let's do the action. Our people were people who were working. Before the war, I remember our people were from Umbati down up to Rangaba. People were coffee growers. When they take coffee to Yei, they say these are Keliko. You know, it is really, really important that we should be hardworking people. We should be doing what is right. I know some time back when we were shying away from our own identity, from our own language, it has not been good. But our eyes are now open. Keliko is no longer that Keliko which used to be called Keliko Boli. You know, we have because of all this stigma, as I was saying in the beginning, we have one of our parents who is known as Geresoma Ore is from one of the clans in Keliko. This man bought a pickup, bought a pickup. I think that time they call it a Komar. He bought a Komar and he named that Komar Keliko Beli. Why? Because people were all the time, oh, these people, they don't know anything. They don't know. Me, I want to encourage the Keliko young people that this thing of saying Keliko doesn't know anything has ended. From now on, Keliko is no longer believed. Keliko is no longer somebody who doesn't understand things. Keliko can compete in any. So if we want all of us to be competing in anything, let's be hardworking people. Let's go to school. Let's learn. Not just one way. Let's learn in any field, everywhere. Whether you are going to the army, to politics, to the NGO, to the church, everywhere, let us have our people there. If we have this, I think we will create a new Keliko, a new outlook of what we can be presentable before people. I know it is already happening now, but let us do more. Let us not be selfish. Let us share. If we have that, I think we will be the best in our country. Thank you so much, Keliko Media. If there is anything, I will always be there. Thank you.